JBN, we keep you informed. 3 men charged with firearm-related offences. The police have charged 3 men with firearm-related offences on Thursday, May 14, following 3 separate incidents. Charged are Jovan Johnson, otherwise called Little Lenny or Tuko Wayne, 30-year-old body repairman of 8 Miles, Bartons, St. Catherine; Patrick Campbell, 42-year-old barber of West Cumberland, Portmore, St. Catherine; and Javon Miller, otherwise called Pledge, 26-year-old welder of Seaton Crescent, Savlamar, Westmoreland. Johnson was charged with arson, wounding with intent, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. It is reported that about 8:48 p.m. on Wednesday, October 16, 2019, Johnson and 4 men went to a man's house and opened fire, hitting him before setting the house ablaze. Following investigations, Johnson was arrested. He was charged after an identification parade. Campbell has been charged with shooting with intent, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition following an incident in Bohemia District in St. Anne on Thursday, May 7. Reports are that about 5:30 p.m. a team of officers went to make checks of a vehicle that was parked in a gully. On their approach, the occupants of the car opened gunfire at them and ran. They were chased and Campbell was caught. He was charged following a question and answer session. Meanwhile, Miller was charged with assault at common law and illegal possession of firearm after he pulled a gun at a woman in Big Bridge District, Westmoreland, about 5:30 p.m. on Monday, December 30, 2019. The court dates of the men are being finalized. 24-year-old man held after reportedly raping student and going on the run. Police say they have now arrested a 24-year-old chef from St. Catherine who was eluding the authorities for some time after he was accused of luring a 17-year-old girl to his house and later raping the female. Police say after weeks of investigations, the man was apprehended during an operation in St. Catherine. Reports are that in the first week in May, the man invited the teenager to his house, telling her that he would help her with her schoolwork. Police said the reports they received are that while at the premises, the man reportedly held down and forced the teenager into having sex with him. The matter was reported to the police and the man held during an operation in a community located off Mandela Highway. Police said a court date is being finalized for the man. Cops placed dent in goat stealing ring during Manchester operation. Police say they have arrested a man who they believe is a key player in an ongoing goat stealing ring involving criminals targeting farmers in a number of parishes. Police say the suspect was held after they conducted an operation and recovered a total of 13 stolen goats being transported out of the parish of Manchester. The suspect was held in the parish on Friday after goat farmers already suffering from millions of dollars in losses in business due to COVID-19 pandemic raised an alarm that a number of goats from their farms were stolen, a source from the parish reported. The police who confirmed the report said an investigation was launched. Reports are that between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Friday, May 15, the police in Manchester conducted operations in the Comfort Hall district and surrounding areas, where a total of 13 stolen goats were recovered. Police said one of the men was later arrested and placed into custody. 3 weeks ago, police in St. Catherine, in another clampdown, seized over 400 pounds of stolen pumpkin during an operation in the Bernard Lodge estate area of the parish. Reports are that on Monday, April 27, at about 9:45 p.m., a police team was on foot patrol near a number of farms when they observed persons leaving one of the farms. On the approach of the police, 4 men who were seen with bags dropped the bags and ran. The police managed to apprehend 2 of the men. The pumpkins were found packed in the bags, and none of the men were able to properly account for the produce and of them being farmers. More pumpkins were found in close vicinity. The farmers from whose property the pumpkins were stolen were later notified of the development, and arrangements were made for the produce to be handed over to them. FID targets assets after 5 convicted in $400 million Manchester Municipal fraud trial. The way is now clear for the government to begin the legal process of seeking to take possession of properties and other assets valued at more than $220 million that have been traced to former Manchester Parish Council official Sanja Elliott. The Manchester Parish Council has since been renamed the Manchester Municipal Corporation, MMC. Already, the properties and assets, which include an apartment complex consisting of 11 units, a 4-story family house, 4 residential lots, 6 high-end motor vehicles, as well as a Honda Ridgeline, and the several bank accounts have been frozen by the Supreme Court. He is going to lose everything, one law enforcement source predicted yesterday. Elliott, the former deputy superintendent in charge of roads and works, was one of 3 former MMC officials who were found guilty in the Manchester Parish Court yesterday for their roles in a scheme used to defraud the local government authority of approximately $400 million. The other ex-officials are David Harris, former secretary manager and the finance director, and Kendall Roberts, former temporary works overseer. Elliott's wife, Tasha-Gaye, and his personal friend, Dwayne Sibbles, were also convicted for their involvement in the scheme, which involved the creation of dozens of fictitious payment vouchers in the names of friends and associates of the former local government official. His mother, Myrtle Elliott, and the bank teller Radcliffe McLean were freed of all charges by senior parish judge Anne-Marie Granger, who presided over the case. Elliott's father, Eduardo, who was also arrested and charged in connection with the fraudulent scheme, was freed earlier this year. After the verdicts were announced, an attorney for the Financial Investigations Division (FID) of the Finance Ministry immediately alerted Granger that on July 27, when she scheduled to hand down sentence, the agency will request that all 5 convicts be committed to the Supreme Court. We are putting it on record that we intend on the date of sentencing to make applications that the convicted parties be committed to the Circuit Court for the hearing of a forfeiture order or pecuniary penalty order, the attorney said. Yesterday's verdicts marked the end of what is believed to be the largest fraud case in Jamaica's history involving a municipal authority. The closely watched case made national headlines in June 2016 after Sanja Elliott and the siblings were arrested in a series of early morning raids conducted by the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA. The raids marked the culmination of a major corruption probe, which also included the FID. Granger underlined evidence led by prosecutors Patrice Ixon and Chana Ormsby, which detailed how dozens of checks drawn on the account of the MMC were made payable to friends of Sanja Elliott and the persons previously employed to the municipality for work that were never done. As an example, she pointed to WhatsApp messages between Sanja Elliott and Roberts. WhatsApp messages show that Mr. Sanja Elliott sent the name Tyrone to WhatsApp handle Kendall on October 21, 2015, also on November 4, 2015. Payment vouchers and checks were generated in the name of Tyrone Merchant shortly after. Mr. Roberts signed the contractor invoices, verifying that works were done, when Mr. Tyrone Merchant told the court that he would not have done any works to be the beneficiary of these checks, the judge noted. 2 other witnesses, Melissa McFarlane and Natasha Heron, testified too that they cashed dozens of checks, drawn in their names on the account of the MMC, and turned over the monies to Sanja Elliott or siblings. In the case of Heron, she gave evidence that she cashed about 40 checks. Sometimes she said she would cash checks every day, the judge recounted of Heron's testimony during the trial. The revelation led Granger to describe both women as accomplices. She made no inquiries of Mr. Elliott as to why she wasn't cashing checks when she did no work for the Manchester Parish Council. She never caused any work to be done, she was never employed by the council, and she submitted no document in the form of an invoice to the Manchester Parish Council in relation to any work. In finding Tasha-Gaye Elliott guilty, Granger pointed to evidence of the lifestyle she and her husband enjoyed. The evidence is that over an 8-day span in May 2016, Mr. Elliott had expended more than $1.5 million on luxury items, she said. It's the court's findings that this was right before her eyes. She was a part of it, enjoying it. She must have become suspicious that there was some criminal conduct of some kind involved. At the minimum, the court believes that if she didn't know she deliberately shut her eyes to the obvious or refrained from inquiring because she suspected the truth but didn't want her suspicion satisfied. All 5 convicts were offered bail until the date of sentencing. JBN. We keep you informed. Please remember, subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.